navigating a polarized society. And I thought this was an interesting title, and particularly I think it is informed by the recent election here in Thailand. I thought to talk about polarization as a principle in a much more broad sense would be more helpful. I felt, well, all of us as human beings, we live with a lot of polarities. And that just giving an example, within the Buddhist world, you have Theravada Mahayana, Dhamma Mahanikai. Also within society, we have the rich and the poor. We have the country people, the city people, the older people, the younger people. There are many different divisions that we all live with, and all of these areas of concern. So the issue is not the point of view that we each have as individuals. Where the trouble starts is, I'm right, you're wrong. That should be a red flag. That's a sign that, wait a minute, that sounds like I'm attaching to something. That sounds like I'm clinging to something. So I would say that how we get polarized is through these 4 different kinds of clinging. So clinging to sense pleasure, clinging to conventions, clinging to views and opinions, and clinging to ego, to self-view. Basically, the more that we believe our perceptions as absolutely real, and our opinions that arise from those, then the more that we are naturally out of harmony with the other people around us, the world around us. We're more absorbed in our own version of the world and our thoughts about the world, getting lost in that process of perception, and proliferation leads to taking up weapons, to conflict and argument and contention, the polarized society. One of the practices that are very closely related to this teaching is called tracing things back to the origin, or also called tracing back the radiance. So when you find your mind in that state of a conflict, judging someone, or getting caught up in aversion and hatred and tension about some other, then if you follow the train of thought, okay, how did I get here? If we make a point of following things back, we see, oh, actually, that's all it was. It was just seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching. No big story. And the further you go back towards the origin, the less tuaton, the less ego there is. When you recognize that in the seen there is only the seen, in the heard there is only the heard, and so forth, then you will recognize that there is no thing there, that the world of material objects is empty. And when it is seen that there is no thing there, it will also be recognized there is no thing here on the side of the subject. There is no self. And when there's a letting go of the subject and the object, you will not be able to find yourself in the world of this, in the world of that, or any place between the two. This is the end of suffering. The essence of the middle way is that when we come back to that origin, that root, then we are able to respond to situations much more effectively. We're able to, attune to what is useful to the time, the place, the situation. Rather than the middle way being half active and half quiet, or half socialist and half capitalist, that it's not just 50-50, but the middle way is rather where the two poles arise from. It's where the two meet, the pivot. That's where the middle way is, where those two polarities emanate from. The middle way is a quality of attention that is completely attuned to the present moment. It's that listening heart that is paying attention to the present. The middle way is working with the way things are, rather than just going passive and switching off, or contending to get our way, but that working with the way things are from a quality of mindfulness and wisdom. And that's what's going to lead things to a most beneficial result. The way I like to talk about that kind of attunement is to use the phrase unentangled participating, hands-on letting go, unentangled participating. So we're prepared to engage, to speak up, to use our own initiative, our own perspectives, but with an attitude that is free of grasping, free of clinging, free of attachment, and then that will be what brings, I would suggest, the most beneficial results. The skill is in holding but not clinging. So it doesn't mean never hold anything, but if you are, say, taking up a particular side, you're engaging in a particular way, then you can do that with sincerity, with wholeheartedness, but without clinging, without attachment. That I would say that's really the embodiment of the middle way, is where we can hold and not cling. Not easy to do, but it's in a way what makes the use of any convention, any kind of structure, it makes it much more workable and comfortable for us. One of the most helpful things is the development of body awareness. Like if you're in an encounter, to notice what your body is doing, put a part of your attention as you're listening to the other person just into your body, to relax, just to so let your shoulders drop, let your face relax, let your stomach relax, let your hands relax. Just let the whole system be more at ease. Then you can find that mysterious middle. And you find that you can say things like, "Thank you for sharing, that's a really interesting perspective." Full stop. So that way of politely receiving what's being given to you, but not feeling you have to act on it or validate it. Just saying, "Well, I understand this is extremely important to you." And just leaving it at that. And so, and then you're coming from a place of kindness, of respect, and the more sincere you can be in that, then the better the system will work.